It's quite a weighty topic, if you ask me, and I am joined by such an amazing panel today. Pastor Ben wa Migate and psychologist Freshia Kionjore. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Your name is very intriguing. Sijui tupatie kanini kidogo. Kwa nini wanakuita hivyo?
Nashukuru sana. Majina yangu ni kama vile mwelekezi wetu amenitaja, naitwa Pastor Ben wa Migate. Nimeokoka, ninamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu. Na lile jina huwa linasema mara nyingine linaleta changamoto kwa watu ambao hawanijui. Kwa sababu wananiuliza, unauzaga mikate? Ulikuwa unauza? Naambia hapana. But ni siku moja mtumishi wa Mungu ambaye ni askofu nampenda sana, anaitwa Bishop Irene, alihubiri kuhusu wakati Yesu alipokuwa anahubiri na vile wanafunzi walivyokuwa na wanaandamana pamoja na yeye. Na umati ukamfuata na akawapatia mikate, wakala, wakashiba na samaki. Siku iliyofuatia wakaenda kumtafuta, wakamkosa. Walipomkosa wakaenda wakamtafuta, wakavuka mpaka ngambo ile nyingine baada ya kutumia chombo kuvuka. Walipofika wakamuuliza, "Rabi, kwani uko wapi, tumekutafuta sana?" Akawaambia, "Ninajua hamunitafuti kwa sababu ya lile neno niliwapatia, lakini ni kwa sababu ile mikate mlikula jana." Sasa niliposikia vile mchungaji alipokuwa anahubiri, nikasikia limeniguza pia nani. Mungu akanipa ufunuo kwa njia nyingine. Kaweza kutunga wimbo nikaimba. Na wakati ninachukua video nikahakikisha kwamba nimenunua mikate na samaki watu wakakula. In fact kuna mtu alikuwa ananiambia tuirudie tena kwa sababu hakuwa tukikula.
Kwa hivyo jina ilitoka hapo.
Jina ilitoka.
Great. Kwa hivyo tukiongelelea haya mambo kuhusu pesa na ndoa. First things first, who should handle the family accounts when it comes to marriage? Na ni lazima mkuwe na a joint account? Is it a must for a couple to have that?
I think as to my own understanding, and what I can say is it is good and it is important for people, if they are living together and they are honest, they should have at least the same account. But you find that in nowadays, the days that you are living, some are clever than the others. You'll find that they will connect even the account number to their own phone without your knowledge, and they will be withdrawing the money and misusing it. But if for sure you have made a decision to live with that person, honestly, it is not good. It should be that if I have my money, it should not be mine. It should be ours. If you have the money, it should be ours. Because we are living together as a family, but we are not living together as hypocrites. So I think, to my own understanding and to my view, and I stand to be corrected, it is good, in fact, to be clear as that. Yes.
Kionjore, on your side, unataka kusema nini kuhusu hiyo issue?
Thank you very much, Mudhoni, for the opportunity. I think this is a serious topic that we really need to dive into, and maybe talk to our people and see what it actually means when we talk about money and marriage. Because I can tell you, I've been a psychologist for quite some time, and I'll tell you this is one of the areas that couples are really struggling in when it comes to finances and how to manage finances. And I know a lot of trainings have been done as far as finances are concerned. And when we talk about should we have the same account or should we have different accounts, that I would not want to answer. As a psychologist, and because I know I'm an authority as far as mental health is concerned, I would not want to say that people should have one account or they should have different accounts. But what is important is to know how accountable are we with the finances that we are making in the marriage. I'll tell you, Modoni, that there are three main things that will make a marriage remain stable. Money, time, and communication. And in this case, I'm talking about the phone. But let's narrow down to money, because this is one of the areas that have really been huge.
Absolutely.
I keep saying, if one can be accountable, or they can, be naked and not ashamed with their own bodies, then I don't know why it is difficult for somebody to be accountable with the monies that they're making. But there is also a culture that we have been raised in. There's also a way we have seen money being handled, and maybe by the people that have been ahead of us, our parents, and we grow up in a very insecure environment. because you feel like somebody is not spending the money as you have agreed, or maybe as you expect, because we are coming from different orientations and we are coming from different backgrounds. So some of us are better as far as finances are concerned. Others are still wanting. There are areas that they need to maybe work on as far as finances are concerned. But for me, my answer would be, it is important for people to sit down and agree. How do we handle the finances that are coming to the family? Because if you're talking about husband and wife, then it means whatever it is theirs. I mean, whatever money they're making, it is for them, for the couple. If I quote a scripture somewhere in Corinthians, the Bible says that the body is for this one and the other one is for the other one. That means they have become one. So why is it that we can share the same body and we cannot share the finances that we have been given? So it is important for people to communicate and see how well do we handle the finances. Because when the finances are not taken care of well, that is where the issues begin. From, I am taking care of my parents, I'm taking care of my siblings. Others will have mpango wa kando who they are taking care of. Others will have friends who they are taking care of, and they will not be accountable. And that is where most of the issues begin. And actually mistrust, especially when it comes to husband and wife, a lot of it begins from money.
Absolutely. So Pastor Ben,
yes.
There's this, I'm not sure if it's how the society has brought us up, but there's this notion that people are out here saying pesa ya bwana yangu ni yetu, lakini pesa yangu ni yangu. So what is wrong with that statement, and how does it now tend to bring up problems in marriage?
Ningependa niseme kama vile kiongozi mwenzangu amesema, mwana saikolojia, ni kwamba tumelelewa kutoka katika hali tofauti tofauti na familia tofauti tofauti. Unapata kwamba kuna huyu ameambiwa ya kwamba na amefundishwa na when people they come for marital counseling, huwa tunaambia ya kwamba wakati unaingia katika ndoa, jua ya kwamba hamuingii. Hamuingii, ni wewe unaingia. Kwa hivyo ili hali unahitaji kupata mashauri kutoka kwa mama yako na kutoka hata kwa baba yako ama kutoka kwa rafiki yako, lazima uwe mwangalifu sana, kwa sababu ndoa itakuwa ni yako na mume wako. Ndoa itakuwa ni yako na mke wako. Na kama vile mwenzangu amesema ya kwamba kama humuonei haya mke wako ama mume wako kwa mwili, jinsi Biblia inavyosema, basi sioni kuna haja gani ya kusema ya kwamba pesa zako ni zako, lakini zangu ni zetu. Na ili hali tutapata watoto, si utapata, tutapata. Waona? Kwa hivyo kila jambo katika hali wakati umeingia kwenye ndoa, kila jambo litakapofanyika pale si langu binafsi na sio lako binafsi, mbali ni letu. Kwa hivyo tunafaa kuwa na ushirikiano mwema kwa kila jambo na kwa kila hali na kwa kila kitu ambacho chochote tutakachopata. Si kwa sababu ya kwamba ningejipenda ama wewe ungejipenda, lakini ni kwa sababu ya maisha ya baadaye. Lakini hii shida ilitokea ni kwa sababu kuna watu walikuja na mafundisho ambayo huwezi ukaelewa walitoa wapi, ya kwamba pesa za mume ni za familia, lakini za mke si za familia. Na kusema ukweli, tushapata changamoto nyingi sana hata kanisani. Unapata kwamba mume sasa amekuja kugundua mke wake amenunua ploti na sasa inajengwa na yeye hakujua. Sasa swali linaimbuka, kwa nini? Lakini mimi pesa zangu zile zote ninakuja nazo, hata zingine ni mimi ninampatia, namwambia tutatumia hizi nenda uniwekee kwa account. Na ile account pia kwa ile kadi ya ATM ako nayo. Kwa hivyo akitaka hata kuangalia balance ataangalia. Lakini pesa zake kwa sababu haumuulizi sana, unapata kwamba hata kana kwamba anafanya kazi and you would not like to have cooling in your house, you don't ask much questions. So you find that woman will go beyond your mind and your expectation that she can do such a things without even your knowledge. So it is good for people to be very much honest and note that whatever you are doing, just do it for the betterment of you and your partner. Because if you just do it for your own, then you are going to hurt your partner. And there is something that I normally tell people. When you hurt someone's heart, it will take a long time to make that heart and even for that person kupata tumaini tena kutoka kwako. To gain that trust, it will take long. So it is good for people to note that it's not good, it's not wise to do something that when your partner will come to realize it will be miserable. Kwa sababu yule mtu atasikia, what kind of a person am I living with? Such a questions will come up. But what would you like that person to do for you? Ni vyema kila mtu akaya kifahamu ya kwamba mimi kama mtu nina roho, nina moyo. Vile ungependa ni kuudhi, usiniudhi pia nami. Ili tukaweza kuendelea pamoja. Lakini kuna shida na shida iko. Kwa sababu unapata kwamba hata wasichana wanapotaka kuelewa sasa hivi, kuna moja hata niliuliza kwa sababu aliniambia mimi ningetaka pastor uniombee, huwa ninaenda hata ninahubiri kwa radio za Kikuyu za Kiswahili zozote zile. Akaniambia mimi pastor ningependa uniombee kwa sababu nataka kuolewa na ningependa mtu ako na pesa. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa ya kwanza. Yani nikashindwa. Kwa hivyo you are not after love, you are after money. And I asked her, how much do you have?
Hakuweza kujibu.
Hakunijibu. Alinyamaza. Because I thought angependa nimuombee mtu aliye na pesa so that because she has, when they combine, they're going to do something great.
Absolutely.
You see? But when I asked and I posted to her that question to her, how much do you have? Nikamwambia ningependa kujua uko na pesa gani ili nikuombee Mungu basi akupatie mtu wa pesa kama hizo uko nazo. Hakunijibu. Naomba wale wavulana na wasichana wako pale ambao hawajaoa na wanataka kuoa, wajue kwamba when they will be coming to the marriage, they should not think of money first, but they should think about love first, and then watapata hizi zingine. As the Bible says, tutafute ufalme wa mbinguni, hizi zingine zitaongezewa. Pia tukiwa na upendo wa ukweli, hata pesa Mungu atatuongezea.
I agree. And nakumbuka when I was back in campus, we had so many lecturers and they would call us, the ladies, to the side wanatuambia, by the way, mkienda huko nje, when you get your jobs, when you get to secure a nice nini, na bado mkue kwenye ndoa, make sure that you have your kaland somewhere and make sure that your husband does not know about this. So what is happening to the women nowadays? Juu wanasema ati that is the only way you can get to empower yourself. Hujui kwa ndoa kutenda vipi kwenye hiyo ndoa. So is it ni fear ambayo wanawake tuko nayo yenye tunasema hata kama tuko kwenye ndoa na niko na kazi na pia bwanangu ako na kazi, the money that I'm getting niende ni invest na nisimwambie, are we afraid of what is going to happen when it comes to marriage?
Let me say that it is important to understand where did these things come from. How have we been cultured in our society? We have many examples of people who will say, were it not for my mother, I'll never go to school. Were it not for my mother, I'll never be where I am. They will say my mother struggled so much with us to raise us. So we have had many of that kind. And many big people, even in this society, they will say that their mothers have done so much. And probably we are not exceptions, you know. And we are coming from a culture where the women have really done so much to ensure that the family remains together and to ensure that the children have become what they are today. Number two, as a child is growing up, there is a lot they see in their families of origin. So for example, if I grew in that kind of a home where my mother took the lead as far as my school fees is concerned, and as far as our eating and our well-being is concerned, there is something I grow up knowing that I need to take charge. Okay? The other thing that we need to put we need to put so much into consideration is the advice that people get as they're getting into marriage. We've had a lot of bridal showers.
Yes.
And one of the things that women will say is that it is good for you to keep something for a rainy day. And we are in this society and we know that what is happening. Yes? I mean, this is one of the things that women will talk to the girls and say, by the way, you need to put something aside for a rainy day. I mean, that is a it's saying true. Across, all cultures.
They get to say ufichako kashamba.
I know.
Because hata anaweza enda huko nje apate mwingine.
You know?
So secure it for you.
You know, secure. And then, but then there is one thing that I think I would want to mention. Yeah. One of the biggest need of a woman The scripture talks about husband, love your wives. And wives, respect your husbands. While that is true, I will tell you the need of a woman is security. Yes, a woman wants to feel safe. They want to feel safe in where they stay. They want to feel safe with their men. That is the reason why, should a woman realize that the man is having somebody else at the side, they can really react. Because security is a big thing for a woman. So when it comes to money, a woman wants to be very sure that there is something they have put for their own safety. For these reasons, that if a husband comes home and he doesn't have a job, at least he has something for the children. You know, if a husband comes and says, you know, all my money has been ripped away, I don't know what happens to the men's pockets, because today they are up there and tomorrow they are down there. Yes. And maybe this is something that the boy child is supposed to be cultured into as they are growing up. Because you will find somebody up there and tomorrow you find them down there. But somehow the women have been very stable because they feel security is a big thing. And so they want to ensure that they have something at the side. We have been cultured in the same culture. We've been to the same school. You know, we are doing the same kind of jobs. I mean, what you're doing, there's another gentleman who'll be doing the same, and you'll be earning the same, or you probably be earning higher. But when it comes to at home, you'd want your husband to take the lead. Why? Is it because of the roles the society have given to different people? You know, if you're in this family where the man does not pay rent for the family, he does not pay school fees for the family, the next question we ask is, so kazi yake ni gani? You know? But if it's the other way around, the man is taking the lead, he's paying house rent, he's buying food, he's paying school fees for the children. Now we say, this is a stable marriage. Because we are looking at the roles that have been set by the society and the culture as far as the men are concerned. We are also having a problem where the fathers have been absent in one way or the other. And so the women took the lead as far as the children are concerned. So raising a boy child, he is grown up knowing that the woman is an authority. And for that reason, then he will sit back and allow the woman to take the lead. And so if that happens, then you will find the woman really needs to do whatever they need to do to ensure that the family is stable. That is not the order of God. Because the order of God, the man is supposed to take the lead. Yes. Even in the scripture, he's supposed to take the priestly authority. So as far as the priestly authority is concerned, well, what does it mean? If you go back to Genesis, the scripture says, until man was created, that is when he began to till the land. And if you look at it again, you say the man was told, go and till the land. The woman was told, go and produce and have children. Right? So if you are going to base it on the scripture, then the man is supposed to take the lead. But it's what is happening to the society today. We will find men in the streets. We will find them kwa car park, just sitting there, doing their mirrors and taking alcohol. You know? And so the women, because their security is a big thing, they will take the lead. They'll go and look for money. We will have Mama Fua. We'll have these women really struggling to ensure that the children are raised. So we might throw stones at the women and say the women are really hiding money from the men. They are actually doing so much, hiding from the men. But we need to understand what is the root cause of this. So that before we throw a stone at a woman who is really taking the lead, we ask them, the man that is ahead, what is he doing? What responsibility is he taking? If you go to schools today, you will find we have more women who have come to visit the children versus the men. So what is happening is that the men are taking a back seat. So they are taking a back seat in every area. If you go to the political arena today, you will realize the women have really taken the lead. You know, if you go to church today, we'll have our pastor who is a man, but you realize most of the congregants are the women. Because the women are really trying to catch up. And it's not really trying to catch up, but they are really trying to do whatever they need to put the family fabric together. Yeah. So before we say that the women are hiding money, let's understand what is the genesis of all this. Yeah.
So Pastor, let me come back to you on that point. As you stated that according to the hierarchy, the man takes the lead. So what happens when the guy, rather the husband, is grappling in debt, and now the woman comes in with her wages there. So she takes part of her salary and gives it to the husband. There are women wenye wako hivyo. I know most of you mta disagree with that fact, but there are women who do that for their husband. So is it wrong, or and will when that woman gets to do that for her husband, shall it make the man to do just
No. And let me tell you, Maina, there is something that I would like people to know, and that one I can tell you for free. If you would like to succeed, if you are a man in any business that you intended to do, let your wife know. There is a secret that I don't know where it came from, but I think it came from God. There is something that a woman can tell you, and for sure, if you don't agree with what she's telling you, you're gonna fail. That one I can tell you, because I have seen so many things that has been happening. If for sure you would like to do a business, it is good to have an advice from your wife. It's not bad to have that advice. Because when you fall in such a debt and then you find that you are unable to pay, the wife would first ask, when did you start this? Why has it gone up to this level until your business has gone, and I did not know about this business, and yet now you want me to initiate in to assist you to pay the loans or to pay the debt. It will be awkward if for sure your wife did not know what kind of a business you were doing. And sometimes we fail. We as men, we fail. And the reason as to why we fail because we did not initiate our women in what we are planning or what we are intending to do. So when we fail, then we will come to ask for a help from them. And you'll find that man will feel, now, where will I start? And that is where the depression comes from. It's in. Because now he doesn't want the woman to ask some questions. And you know, if we can be honest, some women are so harsh, such that a man will start planning what he's gonna say since morning.
Nasema umekaliwa chapati. Yeah.
What he will say in the evening. Ili bibi yake akubali sasa vile anataka. But ukiangalia sana wanawake ambao wanakuanga serious hivyo, wakikaa vizuri na mume understand, wanaendanga mbali. Lakini sasa wacha yule mwanamume anakuanga sasa yeye kichwa yake anafanya vile anataka. Hata akianguka hata mama atashtuka, like another man alikuwa na kazi, sasa ikafika mahali sasa anakuja sasa kuchotwa gari kwa nyumba. Vile alifanya sasa, aliambia wakati wale auctioneers walipokuja, aliwaambia tafadhali msichukue hii gari hapa sasa hivi. Wacheni tu mimi niwapeleke nje mimi mwenye. Akakaka na kwamba anawabeba awasidikishe. Alipowafikisha huko njiani sasa akawapatia gari. Sasa mama akaanza kuuliza, akauliza, kwani gari ilienda wapi? Maswali kama yale yanapoimbuka unapata ya kwamba kuna shida kubwa sana, kwa sababu mbona hakuwa amemwambia ya kwamba biashara inaenda chini, hakumwambia nina hizi shida, ninapitia haya. Sasa mke alikuja kugundua wakati gari imeenda, na akapata kujua kwamba biashara zote zimefungwa. Lakini iwapo kama angekuwa amemwambia kutoka mwanzo ya kwamba ni kuna hii biashara na ninapitia hii na hii, na kuna jambo moja ambalo Biblia inasema kwamba wanaume wawapende wake zao na wasiwadhulumu ili maombi yao yasifungiwe. Inaonekana kwamba there is power in the woman if you trust your wife, and if you trust that woman and be honest. Wakati unapoenda mbele zake Mwenyezi Mungu kuomba, maombi yako haitafungiwa. Na haingekuwa ukweli, na haingekuwa sawa, na haingekuwa bora, basi Mungu hangekubali hilo neno liandikwe. Kwa hivyo ni vyema wanaume wajue ya kwamba wanapoongoza katika boma, wajue kwamba ni vizuri wahusishe familia yake. We have seen so many people, so many great men, they die, but when they die, vitu vyao vinaachwa hata vingine hazijulikani ziko wapi, ili hali yako na mke na ako na watoto. Si hata afadhali upatie watoto wako na mke wako, wakati utaenda basi itabaki na familia yako ile ilikuwa inafanya unamka asubuhi na mapema, usiku hulali, rather than when you die, these things and all these plots and these investments, all they are absorbed by other people. It's wrong. So it is good for men to note that what they are doing for their own benefits, because they are doing for their partner. Yes.
I hope that you guys at home are taking notes on what is being said here by this amazing panel that I have today. Now it's time to take a short break. We will be right back with a whole lot more. Do stay tuned.
Entrepreneurs around the country are creatively grinding.
I started with a borrowed phone.
A borrowed phone?
Yeah, that could last 2 hours with charge.
We just have to do quality work for them.
To make their mark in an unpredictable market.
It was now going on a sales venture, looking for stockists door to door.
On the grind, we bring you their stories so you can tell yours. Every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Men are known to be the pillars.
We're rising up together.
Say your point. You need an alpha male now to come and help you and your girl.
Ameongea zero.
And women, they are the cornerstone that hold the pillars.
Don't be entitled. A man is peaceful, a man knows how to talk to a lady.
This November, the Men's Conference brings a cocktail of diverse ladies to weigh in on various matters.
Something I'd love more to see is men being able to exist as themselves.
Tune in every Wednesday at 10 p.m.
Hello guys, and welcome to Night In with Joy Irungu. Joy Irungu.
Heartbreak, pain, and tears have been a major part of Night In Season 1. We thank you for being with us on this journey, and for this upcoming season, we will bring you more empowering stories that not everyone is talking about.
This is the only show where we keep it authentic. We share our lifetime experiences, and you know what? Tell every person that you can turn your pain into power.
Join Joy Irungu on Night In as we take the brave step of sharing.
The road to 2022 is becoming tougher.
Nyuma ya wheelbarrow kuna economic model.
And trickier with each passing day.
Niliwaambia washushe chini bei ya mafuta.
Political aspirants in a dilemma whether to change allegiance or not.
How has Raila and the handshake made Jubilee lose focus?
You've seen Raila Odinga flying military choppers.
Our people have never been called to Uhuru Park to unite. They have always united out of their own volition.
That's loud. Reduce your madness.
Welcome back to the Morning Cafe. We're definitely delving into matters of money and marriage. And vile naona pale Facebook, I can see Vincent Karere anasema, my question is, as a man, you have no job, but your wife has what it takes to handle that kind of situation. So what should I do to handle what I'm going through? Because I have tried to apply for so many jobs, but everything has been turning worse.
Well, no, there is something that I would like men to know. Before you get to somewhere that you'd like to get, or to get a stable job, you should train yourself to do any kind of job as far as it is genuine. Because not all jobs that are genuine.
True.
So it is good for him to understand that, not a must that he should work in the office in the first place. If there is a casual job that he can find, he should do it with gladness and thanksgiving, because there are those people that would even desire to do that job, but they cannot be able to do it due to physical problem and physical challenges. So when you get any kind of a job, you should do it. And even if your wife has got what it takes, then will you stay for life like that? You should ask yourself, because a man is the provider in the house. So you have to take a step. And you do any manual job that you'll find they are out, waiting for that you have applied, because you never know. And the appointed time of God is the best. So he should encourage himself and take a step to move out and to move in that circle of just thinking and waiting for a job of the office. You can do a job that is not of the office, and you sustain your family, because as a man you are supposed to sustain your family, and you are there to stand with your family. Because if then you stay there and say that I'll go to work when I'll get an office job. What if
you never get it?
You never get it.
Right, you're right.
And your family needs to eat, to drink. You need to pay the rent, the school fees. How you want to mean that your wife will be taking care of it for how long? For all? No. It won't happen like that. So it is good for him, and we encouraging him. And beside that, we are going to pray for him, because that is the best thing that even we can offer to him today, so that God may provide him with a job.
Absolutely. Now, to you, Madam Kiunjuri, when it comes to a woman, still on that matter, when a woman is now fully handling some of these scenarios, rather channeling funds to the family, or rather the investments there, and she gets to pay for some of, let's say they are out on a vacation and the woman fully caters for that. Now, is there a problem with that? Because as I've stated before, how women say it, pesa yangu ni yangu, but ya bwanangu ni yetu. But then at the same state in the society, we get to talk about gender equality. We get to say what a man can do, a woman can do better. But ikikuja kwa pesa, that is where most women draw the line.
Yeah. It is unfortunate when we do not want to support each other in all areas. Because if you're in marriage, then we should be able to support each other in all areas. It is possible that a wife is making more money than the man. It is also possible that a man can actually not have an income and a wife has an income. And there's no problem when a woman comes in and takes care of the family resources. Takes care of the family responsibilities. There's no problem when a woman comes and pays school fees for the children. There's no problem when a woman pays rent. But the question is, what is the attitude that this guy carries as far as providing for the family is concerned? Number two, like I had mentioned before, the way the culture has cultured us, we have almost felt like it is the man's responsibility to provide. Yet we are really fighting for equality. The other day I got a call from somebody and saying, we need you somewhere because we need gender equality. We need to have more women. We need to have an equal number of men. So it was an opportunity, and they had more men than with the women, so they had to strike in some men to have a woman take that position because of the gender equality. So it is true, and I love the bill that was signed by the president recently, where he talked about 50-50% sharing of the roles in the home. So I know our culture, because of where we came from, where the men would go and look for money, and the woman would stay at home and take care of the children. Now we are in a different society, we are in a different dispensation where all the women are working. So there is no problem a woman taking up the roles and the responsibilities. But there is a problem when the man or the woman is not accountable for their monies. There is a saying that is said in my mother tongue, where the man's, I'll just translate it in English, the man's arrows, they are thrown in the bush and they get lost in the bush. While the women arrows are thrown at home. When we are sweeping, we will see them. Because most of the time, the woman's resources and finances will be used at home, while the man's resources will be used out there. In the process of hunting, money was thrown, and it got lost. So they'll get themselves into business deals that they had not even checked the authenticity. So they will lose. We have a lot of sponsors. It's hardly do we hear of sponsors women, other than the Ben 10.
Now
but we hear a lot of men who are sponsors, and they're sponsoring the young girls in schools and the young women, And somehow a lot of money is spent in that area. We find a lot of men gambling. If you go to casino, rarely will you find women. You find a lot of men gambling. If you go to clubs, there are women, but we find more men drinking, you know? And that is the reason why the woman almost feels like, I want to hold back what I have. Because if I give it all, there's a chance, like I had mentioned before, that we are going to lack money in this family. Because a woman will do whatever they need to do to ensure that the children are comfortable and they are going to school. So probably that is where the saying came, that when a man has money, let us use it at home, because we don't know how long it's going to be here. We actually don't know. You know?
We have no idea.
We have no idea.
Leo iko, kesho haiko.
Kesho haiko. And then again coming back to the rainy day. At least when his money is finished, we will have money. Let me tell you something.
And you may save.
Let me tell you something. If there's anything women love, is to get married. Women love to have rings on their hands. Women love to be associated with men. When women get married and you ask them their name, they will not tell you, my name is Frecia.
Yeah.
But my name is Mrs. So and so. You know? They will take the husband, they will adopt their name immediately. When they introduce themselves, they will say, I'm a mother, I am a wife, you know, because women love to be married. And a woman will do whatever they need to do, even to cover the man. They will provide in the family, and they will not even want the family to know that they're the ones who have been providing all this time. But a day is coming when the woman will feel like, this guy is now taking advantage. I cleared this loan for him, and a lot of women can attest to that. They have cleared a lot of loans for their men. They have come in and covered them. A lot of women will tell you, I'm the one who shop the clothes here. They will tell you that. A lot of women will tell you, I am the one who's been feeding the family for the last this number of years. And somehow it looks like it's a big deal. But Mudhoni, if you go back to families today, they will tell you they are doing so much as far as finances are concerned. But the one time a woman will kick the man out of the home and say, by the way, I cannot continue raising your children and raising you. That is when an alarm will be raised.
Because now the guy now looks like ni mtoto pia
bwana
sasa.
yake pesa yake iliisha, akamrusha nje. But the question is, pesa yako iliisha, kwa nini yangu hakuisha? Because
there are some loopholes when it comes to men's pockets. So zinaendanga wapi?
Unajua kuna kitu moja mimi huwa naambia watu. Na hiyo ninaambia watu kama nimefungua macho yote.
Fungua kabisa.
Fungua kabisa wasikie leo.
Because utapata kwamba wanaume wengi wakati hana pesa yuko sawa sana na yuko mpole sana. Wakati atapata pesa, hizo pesa hujui ama ndizo huwa zinampatia miguu ya kutembea. Na kutembea kule atatembea sana sana wanatembea kwa wanawake. Na hapo ndipo huwa naambia watu, na huwa ninaambia mpaka washirika kanisani wakati wanaoana. Unajua vijana wapo na lazima wataoana. Huwa ninaambia kwamba usicheze na wanawake. Na ukiona Biblia inasema kwamba usicheze na wanawake, usicheze na wao.
Ni moto wa kuotea mbali.
Ndio sana, na kwanza ni moto hata kama stima. Unafaa kufikiria sana. Because if for sure we can quote the Bible. Biblia inasema katika kitabu cha Methali 23 na mstari wa 27. And I can read. Kwa maana kahaba ni shimo refu na malaya ni rima jebamba. Ya kwamba mwanamke ambaye siye wako atazichukua karibu zote kwa sababu anajua ya kwamba kuna mahali unaenda. Na huwa ninaambia wanaume, ukitaka kujua kwa ukweli mwanamke ambaye si wako ni mkali, tafuta wanaume wale washawahi kuwa matajiri. Kuna wanaume wako pale nje walikuwa mpaka na nyumba ya gorofa na iliisha. Lakini ukienda kutafuta kwa huyo mwanamke ambao tumeambiwa ni shimo refu, hata ukichunguza kwa mkono hivi hautapata jiwe hata moja. Anakula trailer inaisha. Na ukienda tu kuchunguza hivi kwa hiyo shimo tumeambiwa ni refu, hautapata hata chuma hata moja. Inaingia na haijai. So wanaume huwa ninaambia ya kwamba chunga pesa zako. Kama mke yule uliye naye, mke wa ujana wako ndiye mliye naye, mpende zaidi ya mno. Alikukubali vile ulivyo. And for sure women, they are so loving. You find that a woman moves from her house na pengine kwao ni kuzuri sana, na anaenda wanaanza from scratch, from down. wanainuka. Wakati wameinuka sasa, mwanaume unapata kwamba sasa tena amepata kifua cha kugonga. Tafadhali acha kugonga kifua, acha kiburi. Acha kiburi. Huyo mwanamke mlie naye ndiye amefanya uwe vile ulivyo. Wanaume wengine hata walikuwa na pesa lakini wako wanajua kuvaa. Mke wake ndiye aliweza kuwa anamwambia sasa utakuwa ukivaa hivi. Na unaona kwamba wakati ametoka nje sasa kuna watu wanamtamani. Tafadhali achana na wao. Ukitaka vizuri pesa zako wakati unatoka kwa nyumba, please wekelea kwa meza. Wacha hata upewe fare. Kwa sababu hakuna mahali pengine unaenda. If for sure you are going for a work, then just have the fare. Move to work, then come home in the evening. Utapata umetayarishwa chakula kizuri. Utakuta umepata kwamba umeandaliwa chakula cha kupendeza. Lakini kule nje utaitwa baby na utaitwa sweetie. Lakini baadaye itakuwa ni chungu kuliko ndimu.
Absolutely.
Maana utalia. Baadaye utalia. Na shida inakuwa ya kwamba utalia na utafanya mke wako alie. Alilia wakati ilikuwa na shida na machozi ya kuomba Mungu awape kazi. Tena badala ya kufurahia tena alie. Machozi ya hizi pesa kwa nini tulipewa? Haifai kama.
I agree.
Kwa hivyo wanaume ni vizuri mjue ya kwamba, na nikiongea hivi mjue ya kwamba mimi ni mwanaume na mimi ni mchungaji. Na waongelesha kwa sababu wanawake wengi wananipata kanisani. Wanawake wengi wananipigia simu wakiniambia mume wangu amefanya tuliotoka. Na wakati utawapata wote wawili mketi chini na wao utapata kwamba kwa uhakika makosa utayapata kwa wanaume. Wanaume wenzangu tafadhali jameni, turudieni Mwenyezi Mungu. Turudieni pale tu kwa kunyenyekea na kwa familia. Familia iwe ni yetu. Wacha kukimbia sana kwa ulevi, wacha kukimbia sana kwa wasichana. Wasichana hakuna siku hawatakosa kuzaliwa warembo. Ukitaka kujua hawatakosa kuzaliwa wakiwa warembo, nenda uulize babu yako. Walikuwa napigania shosho yenu.
I agree. Madam Kionjori,
Yes.
There was a ruling that was made some time back. Na walisema kuwa sasa if you're a housewife, it is now a full-time job.
Yes.
And your man should pay you for it. But men did not take that lightly. So why was that the case?
Most of the men, I think, would say, how can I pay you? And I'm the one who has maintained you in that house. Unfortunately.
Very unfortunate.
But a story is said of one woman who sat down and did nothing the whole day. And the children did not go to school, and she did not cook for them, and she did not wash clothes. She just sat the whole day. The husband came in the evening from work. There was no one to open the door for him. There was no one to receive him. The children were everywhere hungry. I mean, everything was stuttered. And the woman was in her bedroom sipping some juice. And when the guy got to the bedroom, he's like, what is this you're doing? And the woman said, that is what I do all day. Now you realize that this woman does something all day. But most of the men will come and say, what have you been doing the whole day? The children are fed, the clothes are clean and pressed, the house is clean, there is food in the kitchen. But most of the men will be asking, what have you been doing all day? You know? And that woman wanted to tell the husband, this is what I do all day. Now, even without taking the story, most of the time we get domestic workers in our houses. In Kenya, I mean, a domestic worker is one of those workers that we really are looking for, especially for us women. We are on group saying, please get me somebody, get me somebody. And we pay these guys money to do the housework. That means there is work that is done in the house. I am a woman. Anytime I don't have a house help, I mean, we are going in a Christmas season where they all go home. And I'm telling you, it is hard for us. It is chaotic for us. You know? And that tells you that this girl who sits in your house, she does so much. For this woman who does not work, she sits in the house to take care of the children. I probably think she does more than the guy who goes to the office. Because she ensures that the children are fed, she ensures that the house is clean, she takes the children to school and picks them back from school. If a man is given that for even one day, they can not handle it. I mean, if roles are changed. So it would be very unfair for somebody to feel like they shouldn't appreciate their wives for that. And I really don't think there was a salary tag that was put to it. I guess the ruling was, let's appreciate what the women are doing at home, because they are doing so much. And if that woman is absent, then you can only know how chaotic things can get. If a man loses his wife, And the pastor will tell you here, the next month, the women will gather together and they will say, can we get this guy a wife? He cannot raise his children alone. Can we bring the mother from our country to take care of these children? Can we get their sister to come and take care of the children? You know, because this guy cannot handle this house alone. But what happens when the women lose husbands? The pastors will say, we will be there, we will come and visit you. And if we don't come, the Lord will come and visit you. Yeah. And it only takes a week before they all take off, because they are fearful that their wife will say, now you've begun going to so and so's house, there is no man. But the woman will handle it. You will not even realize there is the absence of that man. The woman will go to work, she'll ensure the children are fed, she'll ensure that all work has been done. So let us not take for granted what the women do at home.
So what if the tables were turned? What if the tables were turned?
Yes.
And now it's the man who's taking care of the kids, well, the wife is working.
Would the woman provide
pay the husband for the job that
now,
he's been doing?
Now, let me surprise you. And this is true in the society. And people can attest to that. There are men who sit in the house because they don't have a job. But the bare minimum they will do is to ensure the children are picked from school and they'll be left with the car because they're picking the children from school or they're taking the children to school. And then they'll sit there and they'll sit on the couch with the remote. And the woman will come from work, she'll come and fix dinner, she'll come and ensure the kids are clean. Yes. She'll come and ensure every housework is done. And that way it becomes very difficult for a woman to pay the man. Because how many men, for sure, speaking on the ground, how many men will do all that housework? They are there, they are there, but they are not many. You know? And I guess if a woman, I mean women in this society, if a woman would have that kind of one man who can come and clean the children, and wash their clothes and cook, we will give them a crown of Queen Esther. Wow. And we will say, for sure, you have a husband. The rest of us do not have a husband. You have a husband. And I know it is our society. It's our culture. You know, I am a Kikuyu. There is something with the Luos. That they, you know, they love their wives. You know, they will do this for their wives. They will do that for their wives. And I one time had a neighbor who is a Kikuyu, married to a Luo. And the guy would tell her, baby, just sleep, let me have the baby. Just express the milk and give me the baby. And the lady will sleep, and the guy will feed the baby the whole night. And I remember those in our estate, the women would like, God, aren't you lucky? That this guy can actually sleep with the baby. Just sleeping with the baby, not doing the housework, not cleaning the clothes. At least for that night, she was allowed to rest, and the guy held the baby throughout the night. Yeah, so I guess if the men took that role at home, I think the women would be more than glad to actually support them. In fact, most of the men who are not working but they're responsible and they love their wives, the wife will actually give them the money and they'll tell them, handle the money. Look like the man in this home. Amazing. But if this man does not have money, he does not take care of you, he's busy with nyakos and carols and out there, then I doubt whether he's going to get that kind of support.
All right, so Ben, I'll come to you. And what happens when now the in-laws get to come in and they want to try and mitigate how you people are going to use your finances?
Wow.
Yeah.
That one is I don't know what I can say, because sometimes it's so bad, because you find that most of the men that are not wise enough, they will fall, and they normally fall to their mother. You see, they will fall to their mother and they will listen and keep heed of what their mother they are saying. And I can say this, your mother will never be your girlfriend or your wife. Take that. Your mother is your mother, and your mother is someone's girlfriend. So if you would like to make your house in order, and if you would like to have a better family, it is true she can advise you, but she's not there to make the decision for you. Right. You are there to make your own decision. And if at all she can advise you, and that advice is okay, then why can't you put it on the table and you discuss it with your wife? Right. And tell your wife, this is what my mother was telling me. What would you like me to do? Because your wife she's a woman like your mother. It's only that your mother raised you. And your wife will raise your children. So you should then think, when your mother is telling you something, and you just keep it secretly in your heart, and you'll be just making your own decision, but it's not your own. It's someone's decision that you are taking. And the other hand is when a wife then goes, and I don't know what is there in between women, because you find then the wife will still get the advice from the mother, and if the wife is not wise enough, she will come in her house and she will be demanding what her mother have said to be done in the house, rather than putting it on the table. You discuss about it, and then you look for a way forward. And that is when you'll make a good family, because your family is not for all members. It is for you two people. And when your mother has got a good idea, you take it. But first and foremost, think about it, how you're going to put it to your husband or to your wife. Because your wife, she might ask you, so you have gotten that guts to discuss me with your mother. You see?
No, kamoto.
And then the husband will ask, kwa hivyo hujatoka kwenu? Such a questions will arise. But if you just come politely and tell your wife or your husband, my mom was telling me this and this and this, how would you like, or how do you see it? It will be much better if you discuss that matter, both of you, and then you make a decision.
Absolutely.
But if you don't, then you're going to fall.
So,
and if sorry.
Okay, all right. Just go ahead.
There is something that my sister said, that sometimes men, they will be in the house and they will not do anything, or sometimes they cannot be able to fulfill all the duties in the house. There is a Kikuyu saying that or there are some words that are used in Kikuyu that make me sometimes think, why are they written, or why are they being spoken? You can find me in the house, and when you just knock, or you knock and ask, you will hear the husband saying, their own are not there, it is only me.
It's only me. Mimi tu, hawako.
Mwenyewe hayuko. Wenye nyumba,
hawako. So, we're running out of time, but I'd like Madam to discuss this. It is a very dire issue here. When your husband has like plenty of money, but ako very slow in the process of paying your dowry, which I believe is normally paid in small installments as time goes by. But amelegeza mkono sana halipi, but there is plenty of surplus money filling into his account. So how does that bring up an upsurge of problems when it comes to marriage?
Again, that's a culture thing of paying dowries. It depends from one culture to another. And maybe I can only speak to the culture that I know best, where I come from. Women always feel very nice when dowry has been paid on their behalf. Not because you're buying this woman, but because she feels that you have appreciated my family for the person I am today. In the Kikuyu culture, they will have the first day when they have just come to see the home. We say they are putting up the whatever to say that we are the ones who are coming into this home. Then they will come another day. They will come another day, and then finally there will be a wedding. We call it a wedding in our culture, where we say this woman is fully married. Fully married, so that this guy has no room of taking her back to their home. And even though he decided to marry another woman, this one is fully married. That is what it means. Now, most of the men will take time. Why? Because they will say, I want to see whether she is the person I want. So they will do that in their old age. Or when they begin to marry off their children, their girls, there is, again, our culture dictates that you cannot take something from your daughter if you have not paid dowry for your wife.
For your wife, yes.
Yes, for your wife. So they will now run because they will now want to take money from their daughter. There is also, again, another, it's not a saying, it is a truth. Yes, it's a truth that a girl is married the way the mother was married. Or rather, the dowry is paid according to how the mother's dowry was paid.
In fact, it is true.
Yes, but when a man takes so long before they come and pay dowry, a woman feels like, so sijatosha bado, you know, because I told you there's that ad where he says now this one is fully married, so a woman feels like, oh, bado sijatosha, you know, and you have a lot of money and you can be able to do this and you can be able to do the other. The other thing is, why would you wait for my parents to die and my brother takes my dowry and my parents have been living all this time and you could afford? So somebody feels like you don't care about my parents, you don't love them, you don't want to support them, you don't want to pay dowry. That's the reason why you are not spending money on them, and so that brings a rift in a marriage. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you so much. Asanteni sana for your time and for joining us here. That it's definitely a crucial